What does the inside of your fridge say about you? What about your shopping trolley? What about the state of your house, the state of your car? I better close the fridge, it's making noises. Isn't it interesting that people get a bit judgy about what we've got in our fridge, what we've got in our shopping trolley, what our house looks like, what our car looks like? But that's just human nature, isn't it? People look at the way we live our life and make a judgment of the kind of person we are. So there's two things about your fridge. What's actually in it? What kind of food? And I had a very embarrassing experience, literally, that changed my life. I was asked at 18 years of age, I was at a leadership conference, to pick 5 words to describe you as a person, me and all the other people at the conference. And that was easy for me. It was tough and fair, positive, stylish, disciplined and professional. They were the words that I chose. Tough and fair, positive, stylish, disciplined and professional. And I picked those words easily, and I decided that that's how I was going to live my life. The next question, though, was if somebody went into your house right now, they looked inside your fridge, they looked inside the third drawer in your kitchen, or second drawer in your kitchen, in your bathroom, under your bed, what kind of toothbrush do you use and is it in good condition? What kind of bank account do you have? Is there much money in there? Do you have a good library? What kind of music do you listen to? Would the things that people find in your life match the kind of person that you are? And tough and fair, positive, stylish, disciplined and professional may have been the words I wanted to be known as, but if somebody went to my house that day and looked inside my fridge, they would have found some green cordial and some rotten bananas. Obviously not a disciplined person lives there. So from that day forward, it's been a very conscious thought in my head every single day. Who am I? What do I stand for? What do I believe in? And do I live my life that way? Which means, of course, then the way you keep your house, the way you look after your fridge, every part of your life, and I'm just using fridge as an example, because have you ever been to some houses where you look inside the fridge and go, wow, that's just amazing? And then other houses you go to, you go, wow, that's really amazing. There's stuff in there that's been in there for 10, 20, 30 years maybe. Some things have got green stuff growing on the top of them. Old bottles, old packets. It's a smelly, dirty, messy, yucky fridge. What does that say about the person that lives in that house that is responsible for what goes on inside that fridge? Then there's the food that you pick, obviously. What does that say about you? If you've got self-respect, self-discipline, you're self-educated, self-motivated, you want to be healthy, fit, strong, lean, energetic, what would your fridge say about you? Now, there's a lot of people now who don't eat at home at all. Some people don't even have a fridge, and if you look in their fridge, you might find beer or water or maybe a few pieces of fruit because they don't eat at home. But if you're a family person or you do live at home and you eat out of the fridge regularly, is your fridge a reflection of the kind of person that you are? And that's what I love about my fridge. Just as an interesting side note, I did a management or leadership and management course with Woolworths Australia when I was 16 years of age. And I had to work in every department of the, now what is known as Big W. And I learned how to stack shelves appropriately. I learned how to front up shelves, and I learned how to make a shop look beautiful. And ever since then, I've done that with my fridge. So when you open my fridge, it looks a lot like a shop fridge. That's just something I learned a very long time ago. But what does that say about me? When somebody opens your fridge, what does it say about you? When somebody comes to your home, now you might not want anybody looking in your fridge. You don't want anybody in your home. You don't care what anybody thinks of you. But when I open my fridge, because very rarely people open my fridge, but when I open my fridge, I want to feel proud of me and what's in my fridge. Is it a representation of who I am? So yes, there's lollies and chocolates and there's ice creams in the freezer, but there's fruit, there's vegetables, there's water, milk, juice, yogurt, cheese. And some of those things, some people think are very unhealthy and some people think are very healthy. Again, that's none of anybody's business. I have to be proud of what's in my fridge. I have to go to my fridge and love what I eat. And I always ask that question. Do you eat what you love? And why would you waste calories? Why would you waste putting energy into your body with food that you don't like? So when I'm hungry, I go to the fridge and everything in there is yummy and I want to eat it. So that's two parts to the fridge. What does it look like when you open it and what's the actual content of the fridge? But could that be a great analogy for the rest of your life? If somebody looks into your life, any area of your life, whether it's your bank account or your library or your music collection or in your wardrobe or the condition of your shoes or the condition of your toothbrush, the condition of your bank account, what do you post on social media? One of the questions that I wasn't asked at 18, but I often ask people now because I use this as an exercise regularly for people. What kind of person do you want to be? If somebody looked at the last 50 websites that you visited or 100 social media platforms that you visited, would you be proud for somebody to do that? Another great question that I was asked as a little girl, if somebody wrote a book about your life, do you want it to be a warning of the way not to live or an example of how to have a great life? Now, that was when I was young. Now I'm an old lady and I want to be able to write a book, or if somebody wrote a book about me, where I can look, or I can read the book and be really proud of it. Even if nobody else reads it, I want to be proud of the way I've lived my life every single day. And is it possible, because it doesn't matter what I do, but is it possible that if who you are and what you do and how you live and how you keep your fridge are all the same, then you are more likely to be happy if you've got nothing to hide. So if you're a messy, dirty person and you don't care, then have a messy, dirty fridge. But don't try and clean it up when somebody comes to visit because you care what other people think. Leave it dirty. Life is meant to be lived your way. Live so that you can wake up every day when your eyes flutter open. You think, I'm excited to live another day. And when you go to bed at night, you fall asleep deeply excited to wake up and live another day to the max. Woohoo!